Hello, welcome to the 38th episode of my podcast, Open Conversations. I am your host, Young Bella Sabelwo, and today just going to be talking about a couple things, some NBA talks, the final season and recap, stuff about the off season, talk some music topics, and yeah, so in 2024 NBA Finals slash season recap. So uh, NBA season is over. The Boston Celtics have won the championship against Dallas Mavericks in a gentleman's sweep, 4-1, uh, with Jaylen Brown winning Finals MVP. Well deserved. Boston Celtics played very well throughout the series, dominated the series. Um, you know, Pretty much they got, help from all the guys on that team, you know, on that and their main rotation of players on that Celtics team. And it was just too much for the Dallas Mavericks, in my opinion. Uh, didn't have enough firepower to withstand, you know, Boston Celtics. Um, as people who been watching, I had picked the Dallas Mavericks to win the series. Obviously, that didn't happen, and so uh, Boston, obviously was able to win, and congratulations to them. This is a deep team, a team that has a good 3 or 4 more years, good run, maybe longer, but definitely another 3 or 4 years, um, as contenders for the NBA Finals. NBA championship, winning the championship. I think the challenge for them is just maintaining the guys on their team, being able to pay certain guys like a Derek White. He's going to want a pay raise, and they're going to have enough cap to have him. Obviously, the two all stars in Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum, and also uh, the other guys on that team, you know, making them happy. But we know, championship rosters, it's hard to maintain those rosters. Somebody ends up, you know, one higher pay, can't afford certain guys to be on the team or whatever the case may be, and so guys end up having to walk and leave. So that's the thing with this roster, this Boston Celtics team. Um, it's young, and it has it's a mixture of young guys and vets. That's to me what you want from your NBA, roster. A mixture of both. And I think that when you look at the season, Boston Celtics dominated. They were undoubtedly the best um, team throughout the season. 64-18 regular season record, um, but it was still, jury out on just whether they were going to finish it off. And um, this was the year that they were, able to do so, being able to win this season, finally being able to pull it off. And, you know, I think that the West has the better of the teams, top to bottom. But I think that, the Celtics was the best team nonetheless in both. conferences, East and West. And I think they showed that. You know, it was a great season. Uh, you know, um, who won the Joker won his third MVP. He was, had a phenomenal season. Um, Luca had a phenomenal season. Being able to take Dallas Mavericks to the NBA Finals, um, and you're able to see how far Luca can take a team. I think that Dallas Mavericks team just needs a little bit more depth, and they'll really be a team to be reckoned with. Um, uh, you want to talk about the New York Knicks had a hell of a season. Jalen Brunson had a hell of a season. Um, Tyrese Maxey really, stepped into a bigger role, became an all-star. Um, you know, and just seeing so many players grow and having great seasons, and just hoping that it continues going into this up and coming season, and you know, you know, it just me. Uh, I think that the finals was really the two best teams this year. The teams who made it were the undoubtedly the best two teams in this league, and Boston was able to prevail and really show that they were just the best, the hands down best team, and showing that teams are going to have to make some serious adjustments this off season to be able to compete with them this upcoming season. Teams are going to have to start figuring out what's the formula to beat the Boston Celtics. Um, and so I'm looking forward. I think this, it's going to be some roster changes and things differently, you know, going into the off season and then starting the regular season. So looking forward to that. 2024 NBA off season. So it's a list of guys who are going to be free agents this year. Some of which, likely going to be, you know, re-signing, but going to name some guys. Tyrese Maxey, um, supposed to be a free agent, but likely going to, he's likely a guy who's going to re-sign with the Philadelphia 76ers, going to, get a pretty nice contract, especially with his past season. So this is going to be a max. I'm expecting a max deal for him for this off season. Then you got Paul George. He has a player option. Uh, I think there's three places I think would be attractive for Paul George. Um, Obviously, staying with the Clippers wouldn't be too bad of a deal. Um, Philadelphia 76ers potentially going to go play there. And then I think Dallas Mavericks is a team that, should be looked at as well, as a team that he may have some interest in. And then uh, maybe OKC. I think OKC would be a good option as well for Paul George. These are all contending teams, and I think that's what Paul George wants to do at this point in his career. Want to be contending for a championship. So those would be places. Obviously, LeBron James as well. He's having a player option, but I think he's likely going to stay with the Lakers. Likely, um, he's going to resign a deal with the Lakers, and yeah, uh, OG and Nobi um, has a player option. I think he's likely going to resign with the Knicks. He had a good fit with them. Played well. So I'm expecting him to go back to the Knicks. We got James Harden, expecting him to resign with the Clippers. That's my expectation. I think he mentioned he wanted to finish his career with the Clippers, but I'm expecting him to resign with the Clippers. DeMar DeRozan, I definitely think he should get out of Chicago. Some places I think would be attractive for him to go to would be OKC. That's the number one place I think would be very attractive for him. Um, he can be that veteran guy that the young guys, you know, quote unquote respect, or and can look for him for some kind of leadership. He's still an all-star caliber player. He can, fit in, plug in, right in, and be productive, in my opinion. Um, then you got, maybe Dallas Mavericks. You know what I'm saying? See how he can fit there. I think he might be a good fit there. Um, then you got the Sixers. I think he might be a good fit there. I think both him and Paul George, where these two guys go this offseason is going to dictate a lot with this up and coming season. It's going to be, those are two guys that I'm looking, closely at to see, exactly where they go for the off season, this off season. Miles Bridges, um, I think that he's another guy that's interesting to see where he goes, because he's a productive player. He got a lot of talent. I think that he can really help a team. I think he should go to a contending team, a team that's competing for championship. Um, I think he might be, Lakers might be good for him. Um, Dallas, Philly, um, maybe OKC. One of these type of teams. Um, maybe even Memphis Grizzlies. That might be a good. I think that would be a good fit for him. The Grizzlies would be good for Miles. So it's gonna be interesting to see where he goes. Tobias Harris. Um, you know, it's gonna be interesting where he goes, because he might. It's like, I think there's a good chance he might not be back in Philly. But you know, it wouldn't be too bad if he were to stay. Um, D'Lo, uh, I don't. I likely don't think he'll be back with the Lakers. Um, think he should go to like a maybe Orlando Magic, um, maybe even go back to Brooklyn. Um, I think he should definitely try to go to an up and coming team. He's still a young player. He can do a lot. Uh, Average 19 and 6 this past season, so he's a guy who can really be very productive still. Um, put up some pretty good numbers. Uh, and so Klay Thompson is another guy. It's gonna be interesting to see where he goes. He stays with Golden State. There's been a lot of talks of him going to Orlando Magic, going there, helping a young team. I think he would fit very well with OKC. That'd be a good spot for him. And that's honestly the best option for Klay, honestly, going to OKC. So it was just some of the notable guys I wanted to talk about. Other guys as well who are going to be free agents. It's going to be interesting to see, where they go. And ASAP Mob, getting into some music talk. ASAP Mob. Uh, just want to just talk about them for a little bit. It's a collective, a creative collective that I would say dominated and influenced the culture primarily the past decade. 2010, 2020 was kind of like their primary decade of influence. Not to say that they don't still have an influence to this day, because they still do. But that was to me their primary, time of influence, so to speak. But just kind of want to talk about them a little bit. Recently, ASAP Rocky, um, one of the leaders of the ASAP mob, if not the leader, so to speak, he just had his fashion show in Paris. He debuted his in the Paris runway with his collective organization, org, and it was pretty cool. It's pretty dope to see somebody who has had such an influence in the culture of fashion and clothing. Create his own line of and stuff like that. I think that's pretty dope. He's been somebody who's influenced me in terms of style and fashion and et cetera, et cetera. Um, but for me, it just um, I would just like to see the resurgence of the mob. You know what I'm saying? I think, obviously, I'm not sure whether they're broken up or what, or they're still together, whatever the case may be. But um, you know, just seeing their collective doing things together, I think it's good. It would be good for the culture, and they had such a influence. A good influence in a lot of ways, whether it was fashion, music, creativity, and stuff like that. And the past decade, I would like to see it, to continue in this decade and moving forward, because they're definitely a collective group that has inspired me, and I think in many ways I wouldn't be where I'm at creatively if not for their influence in certain type of ways. And so I just would want to see, them continue, what they were doing, in terms of fashion and style and music as a collective. You know what I'm saying? I know ASAP Rocky. I think he's gonna be debut. He's gonna be putting out his album soon, which is good. But like I said, it'd be dope for them to, as a collective, as a mob, start putting, content and stuff like they were doing at a point in time. You know what I'm saying? Seeing the ASAP Rocky and ASAP Ferg, collaborations, uh, which they, used to do. They one of my favorite music duos. Very, very underrated. Not they got some great records. Both Rocky and Ferg, um, and all of them. ASAP Nas, uh, 12E, and uh, etc. For me, it just be inspiring to see them come together and working together as a collective, because they they influence culture in some good ways, in my personal opinion. So yeah, man. Shout out to ASAP Mob and yeah, good music, good music, which is another music collective group, which was led by Kanye West. Um, Started like late 2000s when I believe Kanye started the good music record label, collective, however you want to say it. Um, and I want to say I don't know that it's completely a wrap. I know um, certain guys aren't a part of it anymore. I believe Big Sean left about 3 years ago. He thought he wasn't getting a good cut in terms of his deal on the label. Um, but much like the ASAP hours I talked about in the past um, topic, um, great collective create music, fashion, style, and I think the culture needs that kind of resurgence again. It'd be cool to see um, them do what they do. If they could reunite, you know what I'm saying? Uh, Kanye, Big Sean, Kid Cudi, Travis Scott, Common, Pusha T, Two Chains, Tiana Taylor. Like this was the bulk of what the Good Music Collective was about, and all of this talent now kind of dispersed and kind of going in separate ways, and they've been successful. But like I said, just them together as a collective creating was great for the culture, influenced me in a lot of great ways. Um, and I think that it's needed what they had to offer as a collective, um, and uh, just the music, man. If people knew just they was making music, they made some legendary music as a collective. Um, Most notably, Mercy. Still to this day, one just like a transcendent type of record. Just the sonics of it. Um, it's super dope. And like I said, man, as a creative, you want to see, you know, that level of creativity, that level of collaboration. You know what I'm saying? Kanye was like the pillar or just the poster boy of collaborating and with other artists and stuff like that. He still does it to a degree, not as much as I think he used to. Um, but it'd be dope to see Kanye kind of get back into collaborating with the good music artists. Um, John Legend is in. You can throw him in there. It'd be great to see that come back together, seeing them create and make music because I think it's they definitely do. Um, I think they definitely do appreciate each other. You know what I'm saying? They value what they did together. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, it'd be great to see some new work. You know what I'm saying? Seeing some new work, seeing some new creativity, some new collaboration. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, just want to pay homage to some collectors and people that inspired me, inspired my path to being a creative artist. You know, I create music, I design clothes, and do other creative things, and you know, in a lot of ways, these artists have inspired me to be where I'm at today. Recent music I've been listening to, so been listening to just latest projects that have come out. Thames, she just dropped a recent project. A lot of great records on that project. I think Gangsta's probably my favorite of the records on it. There's many more on her album that she just dropped. It is called no, Born in the Wild. Dropped June 7th. Um, Great project. I love the beats, the productions, the songs. Obviously, Thames is a great singer, very unique voice, and yeah, really been listening to that a lot. Then you gotta go Gunna. I've been listening to Gunna's latest project a lot, and One of One, that album came out May 10th. Um, got a lot of dope records on that joint. A lot of dope records. Uh, a lot of dope records on that project. The beats is great, dope beats, and a lot of I like Juan Moore, which is like a boy group. I really love this song "Alone with You." That's one of my favorite records at the moment. Really great record. Produced, I believe Mary J helped with the production of that record. That's a very good record, very good song. From the writing to the production to the singing, very, very, very good record. One of the best records I've heard in some time, sonically. Um, this Alchemist. Alchemist has just been putting out some records, a lot of records recently he's been rapping on, kind of going to his vintage, uh, you know, inf- with the infantry days, you know, when he was rapping, and he's been sounding really good on records. You know what I'm saying? He's been doing this thing. Obviously, you know, listening to my boy Uncle Larry, of course, my boy Uncle Larry, boy Larry June, putting out some, put out a couple singles, Dreams, uh, Meet Me in Napa, and then just classic records of his. Just always been in rotation for me. And then Mission Bay, SLS, SLS 30 Days, Oranges on a Jet, featuring Currency. These are just like rotational records for me. Just every day I listen to these joints just to motivate me. You know what I mean? And yeah, it's probably just some of the recent joints I like to listen to. What I've been listening to. Conway the Machine, he dropped an album recently. I've been listening to that a bit. Uh, Slant Face Killer, that dropped May 10th, same day as the One of One. That was a pretty good project as well. definitely recommend listening to that joint. You know what I'm saying? Conway, one of the better lyricists and rappers, of this day and age. So that's some music I definitely suggest to check out and listen to. My perspective on independence. So again, I'm big on context. I don't like to just, you know, say, well, this is what it is, this is what it's not. Um, Person can still have their opinion on what they think independence is and what it is to be independent. That's cool. Um, I will try like people to know like being independent doesn't mean you make money and that means you're independent. Just because I work a job um, and you make money from it, that doesn't mean you're independent. Um, you have, I guess, you're independent in the money that you have, but um, I wouldn't necessarily say you're independent um, in terms of business, from business sense. Um, to me, independence is having ownership in your company. Uh, being an owner in a company or your company. Uh, and you don't only have to be the only owner of your company, obviously. Um, if you want to build a super rich business, viable business, those businesses have multiple owners, um, not just the founder. The founder is probably one of the owners, or if he sold the business, but he's not the only owner. And so being a independent owner of a business, um, that to me is a form of independence, um, because you have the ownership. I think the ownership aspect is really makes a person independent. There's a there's a level of control and autonomy you have, power you have. Um, Working a job, making money. If the owner of the company decides to fire you or part, you have no control over that. You have, there's no power in that at all. Um, if the employer decides to fire you, it's a wrap for you. So to me, true independence is reached through ownership of some sort. You don't have to be the only owner. You can be the independent owner. There's some companies that only have one owner. Um, the most successful companies have multiple owners, multiple people who have ownership in the company, who have some kind of autonomy and power in the company. So just wanted to distinguish that. And just because you pay your bills and you work a job, you pay for your own groceries and stuff like that. That don't make you independent. I mean, being able to do things on your own, that is, you know, shows that you can be independent in a sense of like doing things on your own. But that's very different when it comes to business. Let's say you do have a business. Um, it's in the nature of starting a business that you're doing things, most of everything on your own, because you're still learning your business, you're still figuring things out. It's not until you start to know your business that now you can pay other people to do certain things that you were doing to help with the business. And so um, that's pretty much it's a stepping process. So when people say I'm doing it on my own, I mean that's cool, what I mean. But for somebody like myself, I need some help. I need assistance, and having help and assistance is part of having business, a brand. And you delegate, you pay people, and that's different from ownership, right? There's a difference in that. You understand? So um, I think just distinguishing certain things and differentiating certain things is pretty much all I'm trying to get at, to be honest. Just differentiating things so people can have a better understanding of you know certain things. You know what I'm saying? So they can differentiate and be able to tell the difference. You know what I'm saying? It is okay to get help and have people help you with your business and stuff. I don't do my businesses, and I'm not doing everything on my own in my brands. Like no one does. You know what I'm saying? I'm an independent owner of my brands and businesses, and I'm working to someday share ownership, have people invest in ownership of my businesses and my brands. And so that's the goal for me. You know what I'm saying? Um, to increase the value of my businesses and my brands and things of that nature. So yeah, that's my perspective on independence. So that concludes 38th episode of my podcast, Open Conversations. Looking forward to talking to you guys and sharing more information. Peace and love.